Hollywood. Hollywood is certainly not what it was. And they can pretend to be.
Hollywood is not what it was, and we really believe that Johnny means and wants to mention that Hollywood no longer defends his own, but only wants to look good with the public and fans. And that is that Johnny really believes that Hollywood betrayed him by defending tooth and nail what Amber Heard said about him. What will everyone's reaction be when the truth is known? Johnny Depp went on the record, admitting that he is a victim of cancel culture and that no one is safe from the movement, and urging people to stand up for those who are victims of injustice. It can be seen as an event in history that lasted for however long it lasted. This cancel culture, this instant rush to judgment based on what essentially amounts to polluted air, he commented ahead of receiving the honorary Donostia Award at this year's San Sebastian Film Festival. It's so far out of hand now that I can promise you that no one is safe. Not one of you, not one out that door, no one is safe, he continued. It takes one sentence and there's no more ground. The carpet has been pulled. It's not just me that this has happened to, it's happened to a lot of people. This type of thing has happened to women, men. Sadly, at a certain point, they begin to think that it's normal or that it's them when it's not, Depp stated in what appeared to be a reference to his high-profile libel case with the UK newspaper The Sun over its branding of him as a wife-beater, which he lost last year. It doesn't matter if a judgment per se has taken some artistic license. When there's an injustice, whether it's against you or someone you love or someone you believe in, stand up, don't sit down, because they need you. As a result of the UK decision, Depp was dropped from the Fantastic Beasts franchise by Warner Brothers. The star's defamation lawsuit against ex-wife Amber Heard is set to go on trial in the United States next year, with Heard facing charges of $100 million. Depp was relatively low energy during today's press conference, but he seemed willing to engage with the assembled journalists, clapping everyone in the room as he entered, and didn't seem to mind addressing sensitive topics, which have been a point of controversy for the actor at this point in his career. The festival, on the other hand, was not having it. The following question from the press focused on the festival's response to criticism that Depp received a Donostia, particularly from Spain's Association of Female Filmmakers and Audiovisual Media, which said the award sends a bad message to the public. Before Depp could respond, the conference moderator dismissed the question outright, telling the press in the room to stick to inquiries regarding the actor's work. Depp later admitted that he was worried that his presence at the festival this year would offend people, and that he didn't want to offend anyone. He praised the event, its director Jose Luis Robertinos, and the mayor of San Sebastian for their undying support. The actor was allowed to respond to a question about his view on the film biz in 2021. Hollywood is certainly not what it was, he responded. The studio system, the grudge matches, the pandemonium, and chaos of cinematic releases to streaming. It is a case of no matter what, I'm going to get mine. That's where these people are coming from. They realize they're just available as I am, some more so, he continued. Large corporations take control of these things. As someone who takes part in the creation of cinema, how much more formula do we need from the likes of studios? How much more condescension do we need as audiences? I think that Hollywood has grotesquely underestimated the audience. During the press conference, it was clear that the room was packed with Depp enthusiasts. Indeed, in comparison to the United States and the United Kingdom, where he still has a large following, the actor's reputation appears to have suffered less of a hit in many European countries. When asked about the future of his well-known role as Captain Jack Sparrow, Depp replied that the character would never leave him and that no one could ever take it away from him. Depp then performed an impromptu rendition of Jack Sparrow on stage, much to the pleasure of the audience. But besides what Johnny said at this press conference, what other evidence do we have that Hollywood really turned its back on the actor? The Sun tabloid published an article in April 2018 alleging that US actor Johnny Depp had abused his actress wife Amber Heard. Depp has always rejected allegations of domestic abuse, and his libel trial in London's High Court is nearing its conclusion. The libel trial of Hollywood star Johnny Depp against News Group newspapers, publishers of The Sun, and executive editor Ben Wooden is set to conclude next week. Depp has long denied ever hitting his second wife Amber Heard and issuing over a 2018 piece calling him a wife abuser and questioning his casting in the Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them trilogy. Depp and Heard married in 2015 2015 after dating for 2 years and divorced 2 years later. We've done with the background. Now a number of celebrities have testified in the libel trial at the High Court in London, but none of them have testified in person. So, who's on whose team? Well, here is Amber Heard's team. Never an option to do an Aquaman sequel without Amber Heard. Producer Peter Safran of Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom was questioned on the Deadline Hero Nation podcast today if the social media campaign by Johnny Depp fans to have Amber Heard removed from the DC sequel had any impact on the production and casting selections. I don't think we're ever going to react to honestly pure fan pressure, said Safran. You gotta do what's best for the movie, continued Safran. We felt that if it's James Wan and Jason Momoa, it should be Amber Heard. That's really what it was. One is not unaware of what is going on in the Twitterverse, but that doesn't mean you have to react to it or take it as gospel or access their wishes, said Safran. You have to do what's right for the film, and that's really where we landed on it. In a November interview with EW, Heard addressed the protests against her by Depp fans, saying, "Paid rumors and paid campaigns on social media don't dictate because they have no basis in reality. Only the fans actually made Aquaman and Aquaman 2 happen. I'm excited to get started next year." Also, during Heard's claimed confrontation with Depp, Io Tillett-Wright, an artist, actor, and activist who is a friend of Heard, reportedly came to her defense. According to Heard's court filings, Depp demanded Heard call Wright to prove his paranoid and irrational accusations about some delusional idea he was having. Heard claims Johnny then ripped the cell phone from my hand and began screaming profanities and insults at Io. "I heard Io yell at me to get out of the house," Heard stated. Johnny then grabbed the cell phone, wound up his arm like a baseball pitcher, and threw the cell phone at me, striking my cheek and eye with great force. In Heard's court documents, friend and neighbor Raquel Rose Pennington submitted a declaration that claims she witnessed Heard's alleged encounter with Depp on Saturday. She states in the filing that the Pirates of the Caribbean star slapped her hands away when she purportedly broke up an argument between the former couple that evening. According to the legal paperwork, Heard and Pennington had been friends for 13 years. Many times over the past few years, Amber has trusted and complained to me about Johnny's abusing her, both physically and verbally. Pennington also claimed in her statement, "So, we cannot say that we do not understand Johnny because really, apart from these people, many more in Hollywood, if they support or supported Amber when she broke the news of the physical violence against her, and even many social networks exploit or haters that they kept saying unimaginable sentences against Johnny Depp." You, as a fan and spectator of all this drama, what do you think? Do you think the public and Hollywood were fair to Johnny? Or do you think they should have investigated and corroborated Amber's information first before canceling him and sending him so much hate? Leave us your theories and comments below, and obviously don't forget to subscribe to the coolest YouTube channel so you don't miss out on all the news we have about your favorite celebrities.